The stability in those numbers gives us options. And the reason we have stability in those numbers and the reason we've been successful in suppressing this virus is because the vast majority of Victorians are doing the right thing. Frustratingly, it's very difficult. No one's enjoying this, but people are following the rules and it is working. It is making a big difference, and that gives us options down the track that would simply not be available to us without the very low case numbers, options that are not available to so many cities, states, countries right across the world where this virus has got away from them. These numbers are not an invitation for us to roll back all the rules. They are simply a validation that this strategy is working. And we will have options if we can continue to see this sort of performance, if we can continue to see everyone working together, everybody playing their part, staying at home, protecting the health system and saving lives. Those options simply won't be available to us. If people think, well, this is over now, the numbers are very low, the numbers are very stable, I can go back to something approaching normal. No. All that will do is take off the table a number of important options in the future. Now, there'll be a time to have a proper discussion about the rules, the framework for the future. National Cabinet tomorrow is going to have a discussion about some of the prerequisites for relaxing any of the rules, and that means you've got to have the right amount of testing being done. You've got to have the right number of coronavirus detectives, those contact tracers who are doing such an amazing job, and you've also got to have capacity that if there's an outbreak in a given community, you can have a squad, as it were, go in there and lock that community down so that you don't finish up with another outbreak that runs rampant. We saw in northwest Tasmania just how quickly these things can get away from us. We see every day, tragically, what's occurring in so many other parts of the world. I just want to finish before I throw to Brett on a couple of points. So many countries around the world had very similar rules in place to what we have. They then relaxed those rules. They have seen the virus get away from them, and now they are in much harder lockdowns than we are right now. So the international experience, not opinion, not modelling, the actual lived experience in so many parts of the world is they had very tough rules. They then relaxed them because they had stability, and then they've had to go to even stronger measures, even tougher lockdowns, because the virus has got away from them. We've got to stay the course. I know it's frustrating. I know it's very challenging and difficult. I know I'm asking a lot of Victorians, but I'm so proud to think that the vast majority of people across our state are doing the right thing, playing their part, acting in full recognition of the fact that we're all in this together, and that if we stick together, we will get to the other side, and we'll get there faster. We'll get there faster if we just keep following the rules. Let's keep this performance going. That gives us some options. We can properly, in a cautious way, examine those in the weeks and months ahead, and then we can potentially make some changes. I want to make it clear though, the notion that pubs are open anytime soon, it's not. Restaurants, bars, cafes, I just don't think that's going to be, the risk will be far greater than any reward. I think there are some areas we might be able to make changes in around the way people interact with others, around some of those more social measures. I don't necessarily want to have, and I understand why you might want to ask me 100 questions about that. I haven't got answers to all of those. I'm just trying to give people a sense that there is hope here. These numbers are good. This strategy is working. But it's as much to avoid the alternative as it is to then relax all these rules. That would be exactly the wrong thing to do. The alternative is all too painful and all too clear. If you don't want to take the Victorian or the National Cabinet's view of these things, if you need more proof, turn on your television, have a look at what's happening in so many other cities around the world. We've all given a lot. We've all made massive sacrifices. What we can't do is give back all the gains we've made because our sense of frustration gets the better of us. I'm not for a moment pretending this is easy. I'm not for a moment pretending that people enjoy the sorts of restrictions that we have placed upon them. But those restrictions are working because people are staying home, they're protecting our health system, and they are saving lives. The alternative is unthinkable tragedy. Tragedy, the likes of which we have never seen in any of our lifetimes. And it's not just a disease of the frail-aged. It is a disease that will strike down people of all ages. Perfectly healthy people, young, perfectly healthy people have died in other parts of the world. We don't want that to happen here. There was, of course, a further death over the weekend, and I send my best wishes to the family of that particular gentleman, and I thank them for the comments that they've made, urging Victorians to continue to follow the rules. At a time of terrible tragedy for them, the circumstances of his death, not being able to be with him as we would all want to be, for them to then use that to motivate all of us, I thank them very much, deeply. That is a very generous act, to use their personal tragedy to remind all of us what is at stake here. This is life and death, and there's just no getting around that. We have 28 people in hospital. That includes 11 people in ICU.